Good morning, students. In class ninth, I will be teaching you biology. Now, my dear students, you are in class ninth, so you have to deal with the chapter very nicely. As class ninth is having the board exams, so my dear students, you have to read the chapter, you have to understand the chapter very deeply. So, my dear students, I am going to start the chapter of Unit 1 Basic Biology. The chapter is Cell, Unit of Life. So, let us discuss it. First of all, we must know what is a cell. First of all, we must know what is a cell. My dear students, every living organism, whether it is a plant, animal, or human being, all are made up of cells. All the living beings are made up of cells. So next we shall have the definition of the cell. So my dear student, just see to it. The cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of all living beings. Cell is the fundamental, it means basic, structural and functional unit of all living beings. My dear students, the structure of all the living beings, that is made up of cell, and every function in a living being is done by the help of cell. So hence the cell is known as the fundamental, structural and functional unit of all living beings. So my dear students, this definition you must know. Next now, every organ in our body, skin, brain, muscle, even the bone composed of hundreds of thousands of cells. Similarly, every part of plant, leaf, flower, root, wood, all are made up of number of cells. Every cell has its own life. Old and weak cells in the body, they continually die and are replaced by new cells. So old cells, my dear students, they are being replaced by new cells. Old cells are being replaced by the new cells. So, my dear students, every living organism, whether it is a plant, animal, or human being, all are made up of cell. All are made up of cell. Next, my dear students, cells are small. Cells are very small that we cannot see them by our naked eye. So, we require microscope. We require microscope. Microscope, it is the instrument which is used to see the very tiny objects. Most organisms, including ourselves, start life as a single cell called zygote. My dear student, every living organism start their life from a single cell, and that single cell is known as zygote. That single cell is known as zygote. Next, my dear students, we will discuss about the invention of microscope and discovery of cell. Next, we will discuss invention of microscope and discovery of cell. First microscope was constructed by Dutch scientist Antony van Leeuwenhoek. You have to remember the name who discovered the first microscope, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. He was an ordinary public official who ground lenses and made microscopic observation. He said to have constructed 400 microscopes. He said to have constructed 400 microscopes. The microscope constructed by Antony van Leeuwenhoek were called as simple microscope. Why they are called as simple microscope? Because they consist of single biconvex lens. My dear students, the microscope which was being constructed by Antony van Leeuwenhoek, they are known as simple microscope because they consist of a single biconvex lens. So simple microscope are those microscope which are made up of only single lens. Its magnifying power is 200 times. Its magnifying power is 200 times. Then my dear students, next we will discuss another type of microscope, Robert Hooke. Just see to it, Robert Hooke. He developed another microscope using two lenses. He discovered another microscope using two lenses, and that type of microscope was known as compound microscope. So Robert Hooke discovered compound microscope. My dear student, Robert Hooke discovered compound microscope. Compound microscope. Let us discuss the next. This compound microscope used to have greater magnification. This compound microscope used to have greater magnification. Compound microscope used to have greater magnification. So compound microscope, it was being discovered by, who discovered the compound microscope? Robert Hooke. And Robert Hooke also discovered the cell. Robert Hooke also discovered the cell. Now let me tell you how he discovered the cell. Hooke examined a thin slice of cork under microscope, and he observed that it was made up of tiny box-like compartments, and these compartments were known as cells. This remind him of rooms or cells of monks in monastery, and so he said that cork was made up of cells. So in this way he discovered the cell. First of all, you must know who discovered the cell. So Robert Hooke discovered the cell. How he discovered it, that I have already explained to you in this paragraph. Hooke examined a thin slice of cork under his microscope and observed that it was made up of tiny box-like compartments, and these tiny box-like compartments were known as cells. Next, my dear students, the ordinary compound microscope of today is greatly improved design of original Hooke microscope. Original Hooke microscope. This is the diagram of compound microscope. When we will be going to the lab, at that time I will show you the compound microscope. Next, my dear students, the invention of electron microscope. After the compound microscope, electron microscope was discovered. After the compound microscope, electron microscope was discovered. Electron microscope was discovered. Clear, all of you? Next, my dear student, just see to it. Magnifying power of electron microscope is 2 lakh times as compared to ordinary compound microscope. Ordinary compound microscope magnification is 2000 times. Clear? It is 2000 times. So electron microscope has magnification 2 lakhs times, and compound microscope it has the magnification of 2000 times. Next, ordinary compound microscope uses light which bent by glass lens. It means the compound microscope uses light for its functioning, and the electron microscope uses beam of electron. So my dear student, the compound microscope it uses beam of light, and the electron microscope uses the beam of electrons. Next, my dear students, we will discuss about the cell theory. The cell theory it was being given by Seldon and Swan. My dear students, the cell theory it was given by Matthew Seldon. He was German botanist, and Theodor Swan, he was German zoologist. So both of them gave the cell theory. So who proposed the cell theory? The cell theory was proposed by Matthew Seldon and Theodor Swan. Matthew Seldon was botanist and Theodor Swan was a German zoologist. Next, my dear students, this cell theory it was being given in 1839. This cell theory was being given in 1839. Next, one more scientist is there, which is Rudolf Virchow. Just see to it. Rudolf Virchow, what he has done. My dear student, Rudolf Virchow in 1858 he expanded the cell theory by saying that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. This Virchow he expanded the cell theory by saying that all cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Then next, my dear students, all of you must go through this. The cell theory state 3 major points. These are the 3 main postulates of cell theory. These are the 3 main postulates of cell theory, my dear students. These are the 3 main postulates of the cell theory, which everyone must know. Yes, my dear students, these are the 3 main points, 3 major points of the cell theory, or we can say 3 main postulates of cell theory. First is the cell is the smallest unit of structure of all plants. Just see the first point. Cell is the smallest unit of structure of all living things. It means the structure of all living things is made up of cell. Then second point, see to it. The cell is the unit of function of all living things. It means that all the functions in a living being, they are carried by cell. And the third one, the important one, all cell arise from the pre-existing cells. It means the new cells, they arise from the pre-existing cells. This cell theory main postulates are very important for exam point of view, my dear students. All these 3 points are very important for exam point of view. Next now, what does the cell theory mean? First is structural unit. We call the cell as structural unit. We call the cell as structural unit because every living organism, whether it is frog, mango tree, any animal, any plant, all are made up of cell. Next, my dear students, cell is the functional unit. Cell is the functional unit. Let us see to it. Cell is the functional unit. We call the cell as functional unit because every function in a plant or in an animal, that is done by the help of cells. That is done by the help of cells. Next, my dear students, next point is that cell die and are replaced. It means the new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. The old cells die off and new ones, they used to appear. So my dear students, the cells die and are being replaced. Next, most life start as a single cell. From the starting of this chapter, I am just speaking about this point. Most life starts as a single cell. In the starting of this chapter, my dear student, I have told you that every living organism start their life from single cell, whether it is plant, animal, or human being. Everyone starts their life from the single cell, and that single cell is known as zygote. That single cell is known as zygote. Next, my dear students, let us see cells. How many? Bigger an organism, greater is the number of cells in its body. It means bigger an organism, there are the greater number of cells in their body. So let us discuss further. Next, we have single celled organisms. Single celled means unicellular. Single celled, my dear students, is unicellular. The organisms which are made up of only one cell, only single cell, they are known as unicellular organisms or single celled organism. Example for them is bacteria, yeast, amoeba. Next is few celled, some very small plants and animals. Some very small plants and animals, they are made up of few number of cells, just a few hundred or few thousands, that are few celled animals. Example is Spirogera volvox. Next, my dear students, they are multi-celled organisms which are made up of millions and billions of cells. Multi-celled or multicellular organisms, these are made up of millions and billions of cells. Example for it is human beings, mango tree, etc. Clear all of you? Next, we will discuss cells. How small? The smallest cell is bacteria. My dear students, the smallest cell is bacteria. Smallest cell is bacteria, and the smallest cell in human body is red blood cell. Smallest cell is bacteria, and in human body it is red blood cell. And the longest cell is nerve cell. Longest cell, my dear student, is nerve cell. Next, largest cell. Largest cell, my dear student, is ostrich egg. Largest cell is ostrich egg. So this can be asked in name the following, my dear students. So here I am just going to finish my video, and up to here in the next videos, most probably I will be sending you some notes. So those notes you have to go through and note down in your notebook. Thank you everyone, my dear students. Thank you and have a nice day.